Optical illusions, like Rubin's vase, reveal how our brain interprets ambiguous images by choosing one perception over another. Studies show that 90% of people initially see either the vase or the faces, but rarely both simultaneously. This demonstrates the brain's tendency to make quick decisions based on limited information, often leading to perceptual errors. Neuroscientists attribute this to the brain's need to process visual data efficiently, even at the cost of accuracy. The famous invisible gorilla experiment proves that we miss up to 50% of visual information when focused elsewhere. MRI scans reveal that this inattentional blindness occurs because the brain prioritizes expected stimuli over unexpected ones. Urban environments amplify this effect. Pedestrians walking while texting notice only 20% of surrounding anomalies. This neural filtering evolved for efficiency, but creates dangerous blind spots in modern life. Elizabeth Loftus' research demonstrates that 25% of people develop complete false memories when exposed to suggestive questioning. Using fMRI, scientists observe that fabricated memories activate the same brain regions as real ones. The Lost in the Mall technique shows how easily childhood memories can be implanted, with 30% of subjects vividly recalling entirely fictional events after repeated suggestion. Patients with Korsakoff syndrome reveal how the brain invents stories to fill memory gaps. Brain scans show that during confabulation, the frontal lobe becomes hyperactive while memory centers remain dormant. Surprisingly, these fabricated narratives often contain 60 to 70% factual elements woven with fiction. This phenomenon proves that our sense of continuous identity relies more on narrative coherence than factual accuracy. During life-threatening events, the brain's amygdala activation can make time feel 30% slower than reality. Studies using freefall experiments prove this distortion occurs during encoding, not recall. The brain essentially records more frames per second when in danger, creating the slow-motion effect. This evolutionary adaptation likely helped our ancestors process threats more thoroughly. Fear can make vertical distances appear 30% greater than they are, as shown by virtual reality studies. When standing on high places, anxious individuals consistently overestimate heights by 20 to 50%. Conversely, positive emotions compress perceived time. Enjoyable events feel 20% shorter in retrospect. These distortions demonstrate how emotions serve as perceptual filters, altering our experience of physical reality. Neuroimaging reveals that group opinions physically alter brain activity patterns. When hearing consensus views, the dorsomedial prefrontal cortex shows 40% increased activity, overriding contradictory evidence. Political partisans watching identical debates demonstrate 80% divergence in what they remember hearing. This neural conformity explains why facts often fail to change deeply held beliefs. Recent studies show the brain edits our visual field 15 times per second, creating a stable illusion from discontinuous input. This natural editing resembles AI deepfake technology, with both systems prioritizing coherence over accuracy. Shockingly, when shown doctored images, 68% of people incorporate the false details into their memories within 1 week, demonstrating our built-in deepfake capability. Quantum physics experiments suggest reality may not exist independently of observation, a parallel to how the brain constructs perception. Neuroscientists find that 90% of visual information is internally generated rather than received. This controlled hallucination theory posits that we primarily predict rather than perceive reality, updating only when predictions fail. The boundary between neuroscience and philosophy blurs in this radical model. Evolutionary psychologists argue that perceptual shortcuts gave humans survival advantages. Quick decisions outweighed perfect accuracy. Studies show people with slightly optimistic biases are 30% more successful than strict realists. From hunter-gatherers to modern drivers, our brains prioritize useful fictions over harsh truths. This revelation isn't depressing but empowering. Understanding our built-in illusions helps us compensate for them.